This is the cow corner. We're at it again. Prashant, Jatan, and one and only Siddhi. Here we go. Let's go. Bum, bum.
And what a first day of the World
Yeah,
Cup.
just like a normal, absolutely run-of-the-mill, uneventful first day of the World Cup. If you looked at the scoreline, it's like, like India plays USA and India won, and then blah, blah, blah. And Pakistan played Netherlands and Pakistan won, and then West Indian plays Scotland and West Indian won. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, right? Uneventful. Seriously? What the heck? This was an absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy day. And just to be clear, we cover a multiple different time zones. So it's been a little nutty for us to, right? So for us in US, it's Eastern time zone. 12:30 was the first match.
Central time zone also.
Exactly. For you, an hour earlier. Let's just get right into these matches. India, USA. USA. We thought, okay, fine, the whole Indian juggernaut is going to come. People were talking about, are they going to score 250? Are they going to score 300? Like, what's going to happen? Netra Valkar, how he's going to bowl? Like, what's happening? And then it just started happening. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. Okay, it's fine. We have a long batting lineup. 4 down, 5 down, 6 down. And then we're like, oh my God. And then you would hear phrases like, we are staring down the barrel. I'm like, oh my God, we talked about all these different upsets. Here is another one happening. And I had all kinds of weird thoughts in my head. I said, man, do you think Pakistan actually is rooting for India to win? Because what if actually India loses to US and then Pakistan forfeits, and then what happens to them? All kinds of weird stuff. And then what? Then Sky happened. Sky happened. Remember, I was the one who was saying, should he even be in the team? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then,
Eat your words.
You did say he was going to be the MVP also.
yeah, exactly. I backed off.
He
And I'm
definitely
like,
was the MVP of the first game.
and we did say that he's a big moment player. And hats off to him for playing some of those really true 360. So, cut the long story short, India won the match. Sure, in the end, India ended up winning the match. But it was as dramatic as it can get. And as the phrase goes, catches win matches. But what's the other side of it? Dropped catches will almost always bite you in the butt. Sky was dropped when he was on 15, and that catch was takeable by Shubham Ranjane.
Oh yeah, it was definitely pickable. And Shubham's, I didn't realize that it was his first game. It was his first international game.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm sure. Yeah, first T20I. He was one of the debutants. So the other was the spinner Mohsin.
On debut.
Yeah. Well, Mohsin bowled really well for his first game for sure against a big team like India.
At 72 for 6, you're thinking, if we get to 140. So I was thinking, if India gets to 140, they should be able to defend. And, they were able to get to 160. And Surya literally played some unbelievable. One of his sweep 6 to a paceman was just, that's why he's 360. I did realize one thing though, maybe just to be really picky. In one of the balls, I was telling folks around me, was like, oh, this next one, I think he's going to carve it maybe over the slips because they were all inside. He still tried to hit that on the leg side. So he does have a heavy preference to the leg side. But again, he can play straight batted 6 over mid-off. Not cross-batted shots, straight batted with his head still. So, just maybe to recap the match. So India ended up making 161. And then, so Siraj, who was a late entrant to the side who's always again running in with replacement for Harshit Rana took the wicket, and of course Arshdeep, like my pick last selection committee as death bowler, but this time up front he also took wickets. So here is what I feel, guys, and then open it up. I genuinely feel most sports are momentum related. It's rarely about the actual score you end up with. So, for example, if India made 160, and if let's say they were on their way to score 200 or 250, and if USA brought them back, and if they scored 160, US would have been like, man, we have the momentum, let's go get them. Here it's almost the other way. US was ahead most of the match, most of the India's batting, I should say, but then India took the momentum. And then last over, especially from Saurabh Netravalkar, was like 20 runs almost. So you go in thinking, oh my God, what could have been? Right? So the same score of 160, depending on how you get in the dressing room, I feel very strongly makes a difference. So, the fact that they feel, oh, we were at 72 for 6, India was 72 for 6, they could smell that they were going to win, and then they just couldn't pull it off. So with 160 and India's bowling attack, it was always going to be difficult because India does have a quality bowling and momentum. So, eventually USA couldn't get anywhere close to 160, and India ended up winning the match. So if you look at the results, you're like, yeah, it's fine. But a lot of drama in that. Good catching, some bad fielding, dropped catch, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it was I think what I remember is there were at least 3 dropped catches from New Zealand, from USA, and of course Surya's catch was probably the most important because he made them pay for it. But Ishan Kishan's he hit a square cut directly again to Shubham, and he spilled. Even though Shubham is a very good fielder, right? He fields at point or gully, and he is a very good fielder. It just happens. Probably the pressure of the moment, right? And then there was another cotton bowl chance. Yeah, but that was hard. That was hit really hard. And in the follow through, it's hard for the bowler. But 3 chances going down, USA would definitely would like to think about that. And I kind of feel a bit for the USA team. They almost deserve to win. They just ran into Surya, who was given a life, right? That pretty much boils down to that. Of course, if Surya had gotten out at 15, we would have been 80 for 7 or 8, whatever, right? It's still possible we could have made 120 odd, and then still possible that there was an outside chance for India to win. But again, as you said, the entire momentum would have been with USA. And it wasn't that bad a pitch that you couldn't chase 120 for sure. The pitch was stopping. The reason why 200 was not made on this pitch was that it was kind of too paced, plus not like the ball wasn't coming to the bat, and that is why Surya's innings was so important or so skillful that he generally relies on the ball coming to him. He usually uses the pace of the ball, but so he kind of switched his intent from using the pace of the ball to trying to use the sweeps where you have to put the effort to send the ball over. So that subtle change that he got in, other players couldn't do that. All of the players, right? The first shot they tried to hit out of the ground, they got out. Maybe it's a lesson that you can't always make 200, right? Stick around, get the pace of the pitch, and then play your shots selectively. You can't really.
That might be the recipe for 200 on those kind of wickets.
Yeah, stay in. Hardik's shot. I mean, Hardik's great. No criticism there, but he should probably have stayed around a bit more. He tried to play it over covers. Again, Abhishek, well, it was his first ball, so you can't blame him. That's how he plays. But again, you kind of probably want to get to even the first 4 balls that Kishan played, right? He wasn't able to put the ball away.
Rinku Singh, same thing. How Rinku Singh got out, same stuff.
Awesome. So interesting. They have to go back. They were lucky to survive, frankly. The Indian team. This would have been a major upset. This would have just thrown open the group. With the India-Pakistan match probably happening, not happening, we don't know. this would have really thrown up in the group.
I was genuinely thinking if India did lose, would then, again, to maybe be a little more controversial, do you think then Pakistan would sense something and like, okay, let's just go and
Let's play
play
the
then.
game.
Let's play
Yeah,
the
I know.
game.
I know. I was having the same thoughts
Yeah, yeah.
when I was
So let's see.
following the score.
So the winner, I would say, in this match, as a player, is of course Sky. I think he played a captain's knock, absolutely brilliant, and his body language, his confidence was there. You feel that he was in control, as much a batter can be in control. And I don't know. I mean, loser perspective, maybe mental errors, a lot of mental errors, maybe lack of belief in USA, inexperience. I would say, as you mentioned, if Shubham's
Inexperience.
was his debut, then totally understandable. I don't want to say a particular player was a loser. It's just not fair. Any Indian players who were losers?
Abhishek,
Yeah.
Golden Duck, right?
Golden Duck. Yeah. Actually, by the time I started watching the match, he was out.
West Indies, Scotland. West Indies was able to win, batting first. They put up 182, and Scotland was bowled out for 147. So, star of the show was Mr. Shimmy Shimmy himself, Hetmeyer. He danced his way to a 64 of 36 after quite a sluggish start by the West Indies openers, who were only able to score 33 in the power play. So on the bowling side, though, I think the real star man was Romario Shepherd, who ended with brilliant, brilliant figures, 5 wickets, hat trick. Don't see those very often, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Including 4 wickets in 5 balls. So 4 wickets in 1 over. That was when the hat trick occurred. And that was actually a very key over because at that point, Scotland needed to make 50 runs off the last 4 overs. So
Yeah.
it was close. And that over where he took 4 wickets basically ended the game right there. So West Indies, the master stroke of bringing Shimron Hetmeyer in at 3 has really been paying dividends. He's been extremely, extremely consistent. In terms of the bowling, I think maybe there was some flukiness there with the 5 wickets and the hat trick. But overall, West Indies bowled quite well. They took their catches as well, which helps.
Yeah.
Scotland, I think they should be pretty encouraged by this performance. Of course, wouldn't say they were in a winning position really at any point. They started really well, and the first like 15 overs of their batting were fair, but just came up short.
So, Siddhi, the Hetmeyer, right? If you like last time we were discussing all the prep series, so the one that West Indies had with South Africa,
Yep.
the batter who scored most runs actually was Hetmeyer. So he
Yep,
was
yep.
kind of, we had talked about the benefit of focusing and doing well in those prep series. Whether you win or not doesn't matter. But Hetmeyer, and he is actually a really strong hitter. So it's good to see that he's carrying that form into their first match. And as we have seen, doesn't matter Scotland or not. They are all here. They're all here to win. Like, you got to just take one match at a time. So it was good to see Hetmeyer score.
Yeah.
And he also took an amazing catch on the boundary.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a decent part of the chase, and while yes, Scotland always felt slightly behind. At one point, when Barrington and Bruce were batting,
Mhm.
and they were actually hitting a couple of boundaries every over, or at least one boundary shot every over, and they were kind of the asking rate was always 10 plus, but it never went beyond 12, right? So they were kind of maintaining that during the middle overs. And at one point, they probably needed 60 or 30 or something. I don't remember the exact numbers. But
Mhm.
with Barrington and Bruce being around, and even Cross after that. So at some point, West Indies might have had a bit of a scare. Had Barrington had a good over or two at that time with 15 odd runs, the equation could have become from 30 to 60 to say, I don't know, maybe 25 or 15 or something. I mean, just a couple of overs, really good high scoring overs were needed. Yeah, this probably was the most straightforward of the three games
Yeah.
with the expected result, but it could have gotten really interesting. But yeah, I think when Barrington, their captain, right, got out, that was kind of the turning point for me. He was playing really well, two sixes, three fours, and really running. They were also running well between the wickets, which you expect of the associates anyway. And the spinners were not really be able to do much. Hossain and Motti, right? Especially Hossain was taken for 26 runs in 2 overs. Motti did come back, but initially he was also leaking a bit of runs. So I was just hope. I mean, I love West Indies. I would like them to go forward, but you always want to support the underdog, right? So you always want the match to get more interesting. It would have been interesting if they had a 20 run over at that point, in the 11th or 12th over. That would have
Yep.
gotten interesting. Yeah, but yeah, good game actually.
Yep.
Not boring, not one-sided. Two really great catches, right? McMullen's catch to get rid of Hetmeyer, and
Yep.
Hetmeyer paying it back by taking a brilliant catch. I think it was I forget. I'm probably Munsey's catch. That should have been a four for sure. Hetmeyer came out of nowhere to take the catch. Yeah, really great catching, especially all around.
One totally random thing, by the way, is have you seen the? I want to call this Jetpack Man. Did you watch the Jetpack Man? Okay, look him up. The Jetpack Man.
Let me
He
see. What
is
is that?
during the matches. I think either just before the toss or something. There is this individual who is on these like jetpack, kind of like an Iron Man kind of suit, some like weird stuff, and kind of flying around. Check it out. Yeah, and I was thinking, is it because it's middle of the night? I'm like seeing weird stuff, but this is a
Oh,
jetpack
okay.
man.
He
He delivered the
delivered
trophy.
the
Looks
trophy.
like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's interesting. I'll look it
so
up.
yeah,
Cool.
there's always something going
Okay.
on.
Netherlands versus Pakistan. Again, a game which, so it was like it was a funny game, right? I mean, the result obviously Pakistan won. Netherlands made 147, which I thought was below par to what they could have achieved.
Yep.
But still, 147 is better than nothing. So runs on the board, and then Pakistan doing Pakistan things, eventually making 148. But yeah, not without a lot of drama, right? The match was like started favorably for Netherlands. They batted well. They kept losing wickets, but they also kept the run rate up most of the time.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, with at one point, Lead and Scott Edwards were batting together, and it really seemed that they would score definitely like 160, 170 odd, if not more. Scott Edwards was again the captain, smart tactician, what we have discussed, right? He's their wicketkeeper also, so he probably kind of has the ability to get the nature of the pitch immediately. He played well. Unfortunately, at important moments where they could have accelerated, they kept losing wickets. And towards the end, yeah, even though Aryan that did play a few good shots, but they kind of just lost their way in the last 5 overs. Instead of probably getting 10 to 12 runs per over. And those they faltered, and I feel they were 20 runs too short, given what they could have made. So with 147, you would think probably not Netherlands' day. And the way Pakistan started again, right?
Yep.
They had a really good partnership up front. Saim Ayub, almost envious for that guy, right? He bats at the top of the order and bowls some really useful overs. Got 2 wickets in an over, right? He and Farhan Saibzada Farhan started well. Had a 27-run partnership in which Saim mainly made the runs, and they were pretty much on autopilot going along, right? And suddenly, what happens? They lose again a few wickets, especially in the middle order. And at one point, they are 7 for 114, right?
Yep.
And they still need 30 odd runs,
Correct.
and in 4 overs. And then I think the 16th and the 17th over were again very well bowled. They didn't take any wickets, but I think it was for much less runs. So the equation comes down to 29 in 2 overs.
Correct.
12 balls, 29 runs. Of course, there was a sixth hit which made it 23 in 11 balls. And that's when I think the turning point happened.
Correct.
Uh, Netherlands would have thought this is their game to do, right? They have two bowlers who are good hitters, no doubt, but um, the pitch was also not like as easy to hit as it's a Colombo pitch after all, right? So you won't expect those kind of builders that you get in India. But Ashraf has hit a six. He's confident, but he miscues one, and it was a relatively easy chance that O'Dowd dropped. Yes, he's running in. Obviously, it's not like the easiest of chances. He's running in, but with Netherlands and then the fielding, right? You expect them to take that. He put in a reasonable dive, but the ball just popped out of his hand, and that's where they probably would have thought that they lost the game. 2 runs scored on the ball. That's also important, and then a couple of sixes and a four to end the over. And then the last over, they just needed 5 runs of six, which was done easily. But again, catches being dropped at really crucial. I think it was as important as Surya's catch.
Yeah.
And had he been out, I think I'm not sure how Salman Mirza or Abrar Ahmed how well they bat. Sure, again, Shaheen could have hit a few, but then yeah, it kind of felt as if they just lost the game there.
So I mean, interestingly, Pakistan were 98 for 2 at one point, right?
Exactly.
And then they lost next 5 wickets, and they were 114 for 7 in 16 overs. So they had 4 overs to go to score those 33 runs, and they scored only 4 runs in the next 2 overs, which is kind of nutty, right? And then needed 2 overs, 29 runs, and the drop catch. So yeah, it was a strain. I did watch quite a bit of the Netherlands-Pakistan match. What struck me actually at the beginning of the match is Shahinshah Afridi, right? And when I see that bowler running in, a couple of thoughts come in my mind, right? He's a nice lefty, really aggressive bowler. I always think about Rohit Sharma for some reason and how he used to get out to Shahinshah Afridi. Maybe I'm still scarred by that. As a lefty bowler, right, swinging the ball in. Shahinshah Afridi was bowling. Can you have a guess? If you don't know, what was his pace?
Like low.
Yeah. Low. How low?
132.
130.
123. He was bowling in 120s.
Right.
He was recovering from injury, right? So he's recovering from injury. So maybe it's because of that.
Yeah.
But he was like really crazily slow. And I'm like, wow, why is why Shahinshah Afridi is bowling at 120s? So that's one thing actually I want to see how he picks up the pace. And we had talked about, in our Ashes conversation, how someone like Mitchell Starc, right? How some of those bowlers just come in and start bowling at 130, 140. But Shahinshah Afridi was bowling 120s, and I found that really odd.
Yeah, he was coming back from injury. Probably he did play one of the matches against Australia, but I think he was trying to take it easy, and that's my problem with Pakistan, right? Purely from a cricketing perspective, right? I don't know. They tend to sometimes take things very too easy, right? If Shaheen Shah really is not totally fit playing this game, he should not be playing this game, right? But they're still playing this game, probably thinking that, let me play this game and let me just get back to, let me get some game time because it's a easy game, whatever, right? They almost lost the game because Netherlands did a lot of things right, and this is what I was worried about, that Netherlands might actually do more things right than Pakistan and actually win the game, and this is what we had talked earlier, right? So I just don't get the thought process. Is this game not important enough that assuming they forfeit the game, which I again think is. The more I hear about it, the more I think it's just
You think publicity?
Probably that, or just trying to show how they can disrupt things, the board and all of that. But I don't even understand what reason they have to pick on India specifically to not play the game, etc. Just because Bangladesh was out and ICC threw them out or whatever. But anyway, again, as I said, right, mercurial team, they always do the best when they have their back against the walls. But I don't think you can become a team like India is today or Australia was in ODIs. You can't be so fickle and unpredictable. Sure, you might win a World Cup here and there, but I don't know if you win the respect of the other teams. I don't know if I think Netherlands thought that they could beat them. That thought should not even come into their minds, right? But since it's Pakistan, it comes in their minds.
So I was surprised to see him bowl 120s. And I we have talked about some other bowlers in the past, and like 120 is at that level is not cool. The other like totally random fact was it was a free entry, so that match you could just walk in. There was no tickets. I don't know
Oh,
if you guys knew.
that's
So
nice.
they were playing in Sri Lanka, in Colombo, right? And yeah, and they were like a lot of young kids coming to watch. So you could see that young kids coming to watch cricket, and it was a free entry. I mean, sure enough, right? Pakistan, Netherlands, in Sri Lanka, we may not be. It's not like a blockbuster thing, but still, it's a World Cup match, and
Oh, if I was
they
in
give a
Colombo, it was a blockbuster for me.
yeah.
I really was
I
looking forward to the game,
would.
and it
Yeah.
actually lived up to its billing for me.
So I guess we're going to look at best batter, bowler, catcher, whatever, right? Bigger performances all across these three matches. So
Best batsman obviously has got to be Sky. Um, I mean, just captain stepping up. Well done, Skip. Especially because of all the loss of wickets happening, all the pressure from the media, from the fans, from us. It was great to see him batting well.
Yeah. Honorable mention, Hetmeyer, but
Yep,
yeah,
honorable
Sky
mention
takes.
Etmire and Fahim Ashraf for his heroics.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would say Sky. The sky was a bit cloudy for a few months ago. It was really
Ooh,
cloudy. And then we said sky opened up. Remember when he was playing against New Zealand? We said, and then
yeah.
it's not raining cats and dogs. It's raining fours and sixes.
Okay, Mr. Pun.
Bad jokes coming through. Yeah, they come naturally to me somehow. So yeah, Sky for
We
sure
love them.
as a
I love
batter.
them.
Thank you, Jatan. So to take the bowling performances, I mean, you got to give it to whoever takes fifer in any form of cricket, let alone T20, has got to be the bowling performance
With a hat trick
with a hat trick.
thrown
Yeah,
in.
forget it. Right. I mean, taking a fifer is like scoring 100. Right.
No, for me, actually, in T20s, taking a fifer is like probably 150. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like you just have 4 overs and you
Correct.
take five
Correct.
wickets. Yeah.
So I guess Romario Shepherd, best catch.
I was gonna say the catch that Babar Azam and Shaheen Shah tagged up for.
Oh yeah,
That was
absolutely.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you don't see that from Pakistan much, and you don't see that from Babar much. Though Babar is a good in I mean fielder in the circle, but taking that kind of catches, yeah. I mean, so I think Pakistan has focused on their fielding.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Salman Aga is like the big reason for that.
yeah. You mentioned that last time. Yes.
So yeah, for me it was that teamwork makes the dream work. So there you go.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And how
I
Yeah.
about
agree. There were two other very good catches. Hetmeyer taking a 100 catch at the boundary of George Munsey, and McMullen taking Hetmeyer's catch again at the boundary. Though the catch that McMullen took of Hetmeyer, the ball was pretty high. It was almost like a no ball, but anyway, it was still a great catch. Yeah.
So a lot of combination, right? We had drop catches, amazing catches, great bowling performances, great batting performances, some mental lapses. There was one, the USA player, Milan Kumar, when he got stumped, right? So
yeah.
it was a little bit weird, and I saw some reaction that said, as if he didn't make enough effort to come back in. But if you saw the replays, you realize that the ball kind of was going underneath Kishan's armpits almost. You thought he lost the ball, and eventually
Yeah.
Ishan Kishan had to like almost fall on the stumps with the ball with him. So
Oh,
there's
it's
not
a
much.
reaction. Yeah,
Correct, correct.
it's a few like few 1-2 seconds of reaction.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just didn't see
yeah,
the
yeah.
ball.
What the heck?
Yeah, so I think my what the heck was over five of the India USA match where Van Chalwick took those three key wickets to blow up the game. Ishan Kishan, Tilak Varma, and Shivam Dubey all falling. Three left-handers, interestingly, and
Hmm.
there was a lot there is a lot to be said, maybe in another episode about how US was able to set up the Indian left-handers really, really well. I don't think any of them played like actually performed in this match. So that was interesting to track how other teams adapt their strategies based on USA's strategy.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
my what the heck was Van Chalwick with the 4-4. And the 3 wickets in the fifth over. That was not something I had in my bingo.
Yeah, I think for me, I could think about two things. One is when I've mentioned before Afridi, Shane Shah Afridi bowling 120 Ks. I'm like, what the heck? What is 120s? And then the ultimate what the heck was this jetpack man. I'm coming back to him again. Just check it out. I'm like, what the heck? What is this going on here? So, yeah. Jatan, did you have any
Yeah,
what the heck? Yeah.
yeah, not that strongly, but I think what the heck is Abhishek Sharma doing on the first ball that he faces, right? There's one player who's deep point, deep cover, right? That's the only player there, and they bowl you a ball where they kind of tease you to hit that shot, and you take the bait. What the heck? Just take your time, right? I mean, you know that player is there. I mean, either you play it along the ground or you just played anywhere else. I think the same thing happened in one of the games in New Zealand against New Zealand, where
Yeah.
they bowled him a short ball, asking him to pull. He again took the bait again on his first ball. So now it's happened twice in 5 matches. I mean, he's getting set up a couple of times. So yeah, I'm not really happy with that.
I mean, it reminded, when you're describing this, it reminded me, I think one of Siddhi's what the heck during Ashes was Jamie Smith, I think. Like when
Correct.
Labuschagne came,
Yeah.
you knew he was being set
Yeah,
up.
you knew. So this, I wouldn't say it that harshly because, well, it's again a T20 game, and you know Abhishek Sharma, he's always going at plus 200 average, 200 strike rate. But still, I feel that twice he's been set up and he's been given the bait and he's taking it. So
It's interesting to see an opening batsman that, and I've seen some interviews that he's done, that specifically is looking to hit the first ball for six, but he doesn't he doesn't take strike, right? He
yeah,
never
exactly.
takes strike. So it's funny to see a guy like very aggressive on the first ball, but not take strike.
Maybe he wants to try to see the pace of the pitch
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then do that.
like
But
openers,
still,
yeah, as opener for my college, I can say that once you start doing one of them, that's the one you're always doing. Like if you never take strike, then
hey.
it's probably something he never did as a kid, so you just never
Hmm.
take strike.
It's an interesting thing. This is something we should pick it up, right? Because there are some players who never wanted to. Like Sachin never took strike other than, I think, that 2003 World Cup match against Pakistan, where it seems, at least the legend goes, he told Sehwag that he's going to go take strike. So,
Hmm.
that's an interesting thing. Tomorrow is Afghanistan, New Zealand match, one of them, like really interesting to see how that goes.
Let's wager bets. Who do you think wins in each of the games?
I would say New Zealand. I pick New Zealand over Afghanistan.
Okay. I'm picking Afghanistan for sure. I think they'll win the game. Chennai pitch.
Okay, this is gonna be a cop out. I'm gonna say whoever bats first will win. So we all have equal
Okay.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a fair point.
Yeah. So the next game is England Nepal in Wankhede.
England.
Oh, come on, we got to pick. Really? I mean, do you think England could lose to Nepal? No. England, definitely, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, I would agree, England. But if Wankhede throws up the pitch that we saw for the India USA game, with the ball stopping, I'm not sure. And if the way Indian batsmen faltered, the Indian hitters faltered, what if England's hitters falter? They bat first, and Nepal has a decent spin attack.
I think it's probably not fair to pick winners there. Maybe we can have the margin if you want. Like, England better win by more than 50 runs.
Sri Lanka, Ireland.
Ooh.
Sri Lanka looked pretty weak against England in that home series right before. But I think again their batting should be good enough to beat Ireland.
I
Mm.
agree. Ireland is
And
not in the
they're
top
playing at
form anyway.
home as well, so it's
So I guess we're going to now, since we had a very, as I said at the top, uneventful first day, really three other good matchups coming up tomorrow and the day after and the day after. So I think this World Cup has started the way we thought it would, and it should, right? It's a marquee tournament. I do feel, just maybe slight tangent here, the stroke playing in T20 is fundamentally so different than any other form of, even ODIs. You see some classic drives. Here, very rarely you see those drives. It's such a different stroke making. I mean, you
Yeah.
talked about cow corner, right? A lot of stuff goes
Exactly.
in,
It
a lot
reminds
of
me of the
stuff
same thing. I was going to mention that.
goes
That's
in the
that's
cow corner.
that's what defines the name of our podcast, right? Cow
Exactly.
corner is not anymore
Safe.
the cow corner that we safe. Yes, the cow corner we knew. Yeah.
Okay, so we wrap up. There's still three of us, Jatan, Siddharth and I. And this is the cow corner.
Special call out to our producer Mukta.
This episode was produced by Mukta Phatak. Music by Joe Reynolds.